Oh, wow. There is an update on the Mexican alien body thing. You remember, like, about a few months ago, I would say September, the Mexican government had their own version of the UFO UAP committee. And at that point in time, there was a very prominent ufologist down there in Mexico. He said he acquired 2 smallish alien bodies. He presented them in front of the world, in front of the Mexican government for analysis. Since that time, there has been scientists going over it, cutting off little samples. There have been petri dishes and beakers and all that kind of stuff.
Have you tried tasting it? I'm curious what he tastes like.
I swear to God, that's the first thing you do. Like in a movie, when they want to test the purity of like cocaine or drugs, they always put their pinky in it. They tap it to their tongue, and then they know if it's pure or not. I would assume someone down there was doing at least that bare minimum.
You think someone's going to test the alien for purity? Oh, that's pure alien.
Maybe pure Peruvian alien right there, if I've ever tasted it.
That's high-quality alien.
Well, I would hope they do something.
I was thinking more like jerky. That thing's going to be so desiccated and dried out. Maybe it's like super seasoned jerky.
That's tough jerky, though. You think about it. That's like 1,000-year-old cured jerky. I think.
Yeah, but what kind of trip are you going to go on with that jerky, though?
I don't know, but here it is. I mean, take a look at that. If they sold,
but here's a guy eating it.
Here's a picture of the alien. That looks very dried. It looks like a very dry jerky, and I don't know if it is edible. Well, it's probably edible, but I don't know if it's, delicious. But here's the act. So they had a brand new Mexican Congress. It held its second hearing about the alien bodies just yesterday. And so experts insisted that the mummies were the real deal, but stopped short of claiming that they were extraterrestrial. Back in September, controversial UFO researcher Jaime Maussan, I think it's Maussan, presented what he claimed to be 2,000-year-old non-human entities at the congressional hearing entitled Public Assembly for the Regulation of Unidentified Anomalous Aerial Phenomenon. So Jaime went on to claim that 30% of the DNA of these entities, which had been found buried between a couple cities in Peru, was unknown, and that implants containing extremely rare metals had been removed from their bodies. So if you remember from like the x-rays, they're shriveled up tiny little bodies, but they did have these weird like metal plates in their chest, and they did appear to have like either rocks inside the body or eggs.
Ew.
And that's what the
Is that like bonus jerky?
Yeah. Something like that. They don't really know what they were. They're trying to get to the bottom of those eggs. So in this article from Yahoo News, it's quoted as saying, none of the scientists say that the results prove that they are extraterrestrial. But I go further, he said, reinforcing his own personal views that the mummies were, in fact, non-human. Anthropologist from San Luis Gonzaga National University remained adamant that the bodies were genuine human remains that had not been modified. So he's saying they're human remains, but they haven't been tampered with. But in this breakdown of the findings, and this is a little bit more in depth than what Yahoo gives us. So in the past 4 years, no one who has studied the bodies in person in Peru has concluded that they are fabricated. Even the most recent studies from the anthropologists, they're claiming they're not fabricated.
So you're saying they're real?
They're real in some way. Let's see here. So they received the San Luis National University in Peru received 4 desiccated bodies with human and reptilian characteristics in 2019 for research. These bodies.
Ew.
The largest body, known as Maria, has anatomical differences, such as an elongated skull and 3 digits on both hands and feet. The smaller body is approximately 60 centimeters high, exhibited significant differences from human anatomy with reptilian-like skin in 3-digit extremities. Let's see here. Metallurgical analysis of the metal implants in their chest area in one body revealed the presence of osmium, which is a rare element used in electronic devices and sensors.
Isn't that what Wolverine's claws are made out of?
That's adamantium.
Damn it.
Some people claim there's an unobtainium, but no. Neither one of those are what was found in these little bodies here. A research team faced various challenges, including budget limitations and legal indifference. Research teams focused on studying biological bodies of unknown origins, not making speculative claims about their nature. So basically, the research teams concluded that the study of the bodies are they're authentic. They're authentic from a biological standpoint and show no signs of tampering or assembly. Beyond that, that's all we got so far.
Well, biologic, and I think they said 30%. Was it 30% non-human?
That's what 30% non-human. That's what one of the guys is claiming. That's it. So
So does that mean it's an alien hybrid, or are they simply saying that enough of the alien's DNA is similar to what we'd find here on Earth?
Little blue fuckers about that big.
Christopher Walken does on his weekend is his business.
They could be. I think they're straying away from using the word extraterrestrial because they could have been born here on Earth or constructed here on Earth. I think so. I think they're.
They said they weren't assembled, though.
Well, I mean, constructed as in if they were grown in a vat, like some sort of cloning operation. Cratchit is what I'm getting at. Some sort of
giant soup can.
Yeah.
Could there be some sort of cloning involved here?
Possibly, or genetic manipulation, gene splicing, something like that. If you have like if there's some reptilian characteristics here, then that's a possibility. Or it's a legitimate different race that lives in parallel to us humans currently or did in the recent past. So
like ultra-terrestrials.
Kind of like that, yes. But they're much smaller than what has been reported in abductions.
Pocket size.
They are pocket size. They're fun sized. It's like a fun pack.
Fun size. They're convenient for travel.
How tall is 60 centimeters? That's not very big.
60 centimeters is 2 feet.
2
30
feet?
centimeters a foot, yeah.
That's not, I mean, okay, we're getting close to like the 3.5 feet for like the typical gray alien, but a little short.
2.
That's right, 2, maybe 4 feet.
Maybe 4?
No, I think they have measuring sticks. They know for sure.
They have measuring sticks. They're called rulers, Mike.
No, they take out the yardstick. That's what you use in the lab.
We've got the shared traditional stick that someone's carved notches into.
How big is it?
Go get the stick.
2?
Well, I got some more UFO news.
I was going to say, I have another version of that same story. I don't know if it's got any new information in it or not.
Okay,
take a look.
let's see.
It is in. Oops.
Trying to find
now it is in the Carrot Shop.
Trying to find some more information.
This comes from the AP.
Oh, from the AP. Okay, this extraterrestrials is in quote in the headlines here. Extraterrestrials return to Mexico's Congress as journalists presses case for non-human beings. Okay. Yes.
And they're talking about additional ones here beyond just those regular mummies, because they're showing ones sitting up in all sorts of different forms, and there's like 3 or 4 of them, and I thought there were only 2.
So initially, only 2 were on display in September, and those are the ones that were carved up, passed around for testing, I believe.
Testing for purity.
Yeah. And I think the additional ones have been known to the UFO community for, I think, since 2017. But they haven't been, I don't think, tested. But yeah, they're in like different poses. So let's see here. I'm not seeing. So
collect the whole set is what you're saying.
I guess. Yeah, collect them all if you can. The report added the figures were almost certainly human-made. So this one says at the end here, the report added the figures were almost certainly human-made and that they are not the remains of ancestral aliens that they have tried to present. The bodies were not publicly unveiled at the time, so it is unclear if they are the same as those presented in Mexico's Congress. So they're talking about the additional bodies, not the ones in Mexico's Congress. So, okay.
The county prosecutor's office found the bodies were actually recently manufactured dolls which had been covered with a mixture of paper and synthetic glue to simulate the presence of skin.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So some people not having it, I guess.
There's a lot of hoaxes out there. That's part of the problem with this UFO stuff. There's a lot of hoaxes, flim-flam artists, flim-flam men, people just trying to make a buck, and it's tough to figure out what's real and what isn't. And speaking of that, David Grusch, the whistleblower that came out and had some pretty salacious claims about the United States UFO reverse engineering program in front of the most recent UAP public committee. Well, they're trying to get him additional clearance and classification, or top secret classification or top secret clearance, in order to come back and talk about this to the members of Congress, as opposed to having not doing that, because he claimed during that committee hearing that he would love to say more in a secure setting, but his top secret security clearance lapsed, or he no longer had it, and so they're trying to introduce a measure in Congress that will give him that ability. So here's just a little bit of this. They're doing this in front of cameras and in Congress. Here we go.
It's now in order to consider Amendment Number 27, printed in Part B of House Report 118-269. For what purpose does the gentleman from Missouri seek recognition?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have an amendment at the desk.
Clerk will designate the amendment.
Amendment Number 27, printed in Part B of House Report Number 118-269, offered by Mr. Burleson of Missouri.
Pursuant to House Resolution 847, the gentleman from Missouri, Mr. Burleson, and a member opposed will each control 5 minutes. Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Missouri.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise in support of this amendment, which would increase/decrease funding to express that the Office of Personnel Management should renew the security clearance of David Grusch. You see, Mr. Grusch formerly served as the Reconnaissance Office representative to the UAP Task Force from 2019 to 2021. He recently testified before Congress claiming that partial fragments and even intact vehicles have been found for decades by the federal government, our allies, and defense contractors. According to Mr. Grusch, objects and vehicles retrieved are of, quote, exotic origin based on the vehicle's morphologies and material science testing and the possession of unique atomic arrangements and radiological signatures.
This guy goes on for 3 additional minutes. And so he's just trying to introduce an amendment to get this guy, David Grusch, security clearance, so he can talk about this stuff again. I don't know what will come of it. Everything seems so convoluted at this point. When the UAP committee tries to get answers from the DOD or whoever, they're stonewalled. They had that most recent SCIF secure room to exchange information, and pretty much every question that was asked to the representatives of the DOD, they were stonewalled and were denied access. They don't have a need to know, and they weren't provided any names of the people who do have a need to know. So what will this do? I don't know. So this has to pass, and then even if he gets security clearance, will he have the ability to talk about it? They might block him. I don't know. Will all this stuff pan out? It's just I'm waiting, and hopefully this will happen before the end of the year, because next year's busy.
Can I make a prediction?
Sure.
They will not be. Let me rephrase. They will be forthright and transparent.
They're not going.
No, wait. Okay, so I take it back.
They're not going to be.
No, they will be anything but forthright and transparent.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get those answers. It's too soon. The public's not ready yet. The public is just simply not ready for the nature of this reality. And it's
what if we were to get them to bring the Peruvian mummies up into Congress?
I think that would be a big win. Let's give them a parade. Let's give them like one of those parades that Trump wanted. Remember, Trump wanted like a big military parade. Let's honor
one parades. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's give a parade to the mummified aliens. Nothing brings a country together like a good old fashioned parade. They can throw out candy. They can wave. They can see fire engines and stuff like that. It's always fun.
Would we have giant balloons and stuff too?
Oh God! You could have
Parade
Chinese balloons.
All the Chinese balloons.
We could float those Chinese balloons around. Look what we captured. Look what we did. It's fantastic. So why not? It's a win-win for everyone.
I'm on board with the parade idea. Let's do the parade.
There's just not enough parades anymore. Let's
agree.
Let's clog up traffic because that's what people
randomly
want.
shut down city streets and run parades up and down.
Run parades, honk horns, and just have fun. They love that. People love it when you honk horns and clog up traffic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it might upset you, but if there's a parade going on, you'd be like, this is a little inconvenient, but hey, parade.
That's the defense that they should have in Canada with those truckers. They weren't protesting. They were having a parade.
It's a very slow speed parade.
Yes, a very slow parade.
But if you would have let us continue, we would have gotten somewhere. But
we were just about ready to throw out candy until you stick the police on us with pepper spray and billy clubs. It was all working out. But, all right, I got just a few more headlines for people over there. Yes, let me do a little transition music.
Keep fucking that chicken.
Not that kind of.
I haven't played that one in a long time, have I? That's a long clip. Huh?
On Fox 5 Sky Guardian, and then check that 7-day to make your weekend plans.
Takes a tough man to make a tender forecast, Nick.
And I guess that's me.
Keep fucking that chicken.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, well, we continue.
I'll do that. Okay, I'll do that.
Keep fucking that chicken.
Because I recall during the video of that when like the other newscaster, her eyes just go incredibly wide. She like almost locks up. Yeah. I'm going to find that image.
We do need more trucks. I forgot. Who said that in the chat? Bootsky?
What?
Yeah, Trump loves trucks.
My mother would say, "You love trucks." I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, he'd love this stuff.
I always love trucks.
Yeah.
I love cranes. I love trucks of all types.
All types. He doesn't discriminate when it comes to trucks.
But
18-wheelers.
especially trucks that are pulling parade floats.
Yeah, especially that. He likes those. He's no dummy. Okay, let's talk about this interesting little thing. This is a question for Joe, if you can answer this. Joe, would you like to live forever or possibly extend your life?
It would depend on the you don't want to be like,
Yeah, you don't want to be decrepit and not moving around at like age 200.
Trust me.
Yeah, you want to be
having a broken foot just not that long ago. You'd be like, you can just cut it now.
Yeah.
Like we're good.
Lop it off. Let's get this party started.
No, let's end the whole thing.
Oh, let's end the party.
Goodness, like seriously. Well, and I think about this lately as I get older, and actually it's funny because I was thinking about asking you today, but like at what point do we have fewer days ahead of us than are behind us? Because we're at that age. Yeah, 80 is lucky. Like we're like 40. I'm 45. That'd be 90. Like that's not common. It's getting more common.
Do you think we're going to be doing the show into our 70s?
I don't see why not.
What the fuck?
I mean, I would hope to be. I don't know. I guess to answer your question, only if I can, maintain some level of self-sufficiency.
Sure, you want to be able to have fun, maybe play some Super Mario Wonder, and be aware of your surroundings. You don't want to be in a perpetual state of dementia. But hey, at least I'm 200. I just I can't navigate my own life.
If I had to go Bidening around the world, no fucking way. I'd be like, just put me, smother me. Yeah. I don't care.
I think they're trying.
Well, scientists claim new pig blood compound reverses biological age of rats.
That's good news.
We're talking about pig blood here, people. That's practically free.
Where do you get where do you get pig blood from?
You can get it on any farm. Probably you can. Joe would know. He tell you,
Go to the butcher.
Go to the butcher. They don't want that pig. Give me all your pig blood. You're just going to throw that stuff out.
You drain that into a bucket for me. I'll be by later.
You have any animal fur back there? You got any hooves? What else you got back there?
Joe's walking down the streets of Austin with a slop bucket full of chum and pig's blood. He just flies.
San Antonio now, but yes, pretty much.
I know.
Dude, I washed the salmon while we were doing the show. It's a lot of fucking salmon. The skin is like as big as a fucking hand towel.
Wow. That's
crazy.
It's gonna last you for a while.
We'll see.
Well, for your immortality, a pair of scientists have unveiled a new anti-aging therapeutic made from the blood of young pigs. They claim reverse biological age in rats. So there we go. It's not baby blood. It's baby pig blood.
They're drunk on our children's blood, for God's sake.
Our children, baby pigs. In a press release, UVan Research said its new compound, which is called E5, was made from young pig blood and injected into aging rats. As a result, it says the epigenetic clocks of said rats were set back by a whopping 67.4% average, according to the new paper in the Journal of Neuroscience. So it says there's reason to be skeptical. After all, there's a long history of for-profit ventures making claims about longevity treatments, which sound like that they have they sound like they have remarkable implications, then continue to fall short. But still, the claims have a whiff of institutional legitimacy, founded by aging researcher Akshay something from University of Maryland Genetics Department. They say that the findings were aided by former UCLA biojournalist, best known for helping develop the epigenetic clock that can help determine our biological ages. So there's some heavy hitters on this team saying that there's something here when you inject young pig blood into old rats. And that's pretty incredible, also considering that they are rolling out pretty cheap drugs, generic drugs to fight cancer. Aren't they saying like a dewormer now, a drug used for deworming mammals can help stop cancer right in its tracks? So we're coming up on some pretty interesting pharmaceuticals pretty soon here to help us live longer for the apocalypse.
I want to know what Anthony Fauci's taking.
I don't know.
It's got to be 147 years old.
The guy, how old is Fauci? He's like 80. Isn't he like 82?
He's older than that. Yeah, he's in his
He's
mid-80s.
80-something.
He looks really good for that.
Maybe 4?
He's probably 84.
Oh, he's just 4. He is 83 coming up on 84.
Wow, okay. Well, we should be on the lookout
he's
for...
82 coming up on 83. He will be 83. His birthday is Christmas Eve, just like Jesus.
Oh, wow. Well, we should definitely say a little prayer for him, right?
God help us, Jesus. God and baby Jesus help us.
Yes, there.
Only baby Jesus.
Only baby Jesus can help us. Well, so we'll the show we do right before that will honor Anthony Fauci by saying happy birthday, give him birthday wishes and some well wishes for all the hard work he's done to help.
We'll all hoist a mug of adrenochrome to him.
Yeah,
It's called the Fauci effect.
Yes, it is. So there we go. I got some pig's blood news, which we don't often cover there, but I guess if you want to stay young, this could be a potential avenue for it. So that's some good news on that front. And
can I get this pig's blood at sketchy Asian stores in Chinatown?
I'm assuming that they're going to have this pretty quickly over there in the pharmacies in Mexico. So, Joe, next time you're down in Mexico, see if they stop by the pharmacy, pick up some ivermectin, pick up some pig's blood, come back here and start selling it in the black market. Big time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be just like my trip to Mexico where I got all the ivermectin for everybody.
You should start buying that stuff. Like that should be your side gig.
The pig's blood or the ivermectin?
Both. It sounds like a good market here. We continue to pump up the pig's blood story, and we start shipping that through the mail.
That's right.
There's nothing like rotting pig's blood.
Could he make some sort of specialized smoothie out of the pig's blood, the salmon skin, the potato skins, some sour cream, whatever else he's got in there?
He sounds like you want him to develop a potion. He's developing like a +5 potion against aging, and I don't know if he's got the alchemy leveled up.
Some sort of potion or tonic. Yes, I
mean,
selling little bottles.
He's not a cleric. He's not a studied cleric or some sort of wizard, so he probably could. After a few years of study, I'm sure Joe could come up with some kind of concoction, especially if he mixes alcohol in there.
I'm thinking more like early 20th century snake oil salesman traveling from town to town.
Pig blood salesman. That's going to be the new term.
Dr. Joe's special tonic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they sold Coca-Cola as like a medical tonic, right?
Yeah, I think so. It was a cure-all.
And laudanum.
Yeah, this is a cure-all.
They used to. Have you ever seen those ads for like cocaine and heroin for babies and shit? That stuff is fun.
Works. Shuts them right up.
It does. Sure does.
Just rub this on their gums. Wham.
No more terrible twos. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Kid doesn't talk yet, but he also doesn't cry.
He just lays there like a little
stares.
Yeah, he stares at the wall. Exactly what a kid should do.
Opium, stuff it in him. There, look. Here's some lithium. Quiet down.
One more news story. One more. And because I like to cover this kind of stuff, yes, I do. Yowie researcher believes wild boar was torn in half by Bigfoot-like cryptid.
Bigfoot. Yahweh?
Or Yowie? How do they say that down in Australia? Is it Yowie or Yow?
You're talking about the Australian Bigfoot.
Yeah, Yowie? Yeah, it's Australian Bigfoot. They have a different term for it. So evidence of a large creature in a remote part of Queensland, Australia, has sparked some heated debate online. According to a researcher named Dean Harrison, who has spent 25 years investigating the Australian's version of Bigfoot, recently emerged video clip that showed a giant footprints and a boar torn in half. He's claiming it is evidence that this elusive creature really is roaming wild in Queensland. The footage was filmed by a group of workers who were stunned to discover a wild boar that had literally been torn into two halves, seemingly by some sort of large, powerful creature.
Maybe it just wanted the pig's blood.
I'm not familiar with the wildlife in Australia, but when it comes to like being able to tear a wild boar in two, you're going to have some size on you, I would imagine, because wild boars, they're not pleasant to be around. Drag marks and a set of enormous footprints leading away from the scene also added to the mystery. Harrison's research into the clip led him to discover that it had been filmed by a crew who had been working on a rail project in central Queensland near Claremont and Glendon. The men had also experienced strange noises and a feeling of being watched at their camp. Quote, "The narrative seems to be very genuine," he said. "In my opinion, everything looks right. I also received reports of animals ripped in half. I have received reports of animals being ripped in half all the time. So this is not a new thing for him.
Like for fun?
I don't know.
A motherfucking Bigfoot.
I don't hear these kind of like ripped in two animal reports here in America. We get animal mutilations, but this is kind of like a different kind of thing here. And like you'd expect if a Bigfoot was to rip a boar in two, he would take either one to feast on as some sort of like, this is my food. Not unless he's doing this for fun. Like this is
what if it was a wild boar pinata and there's candy inside?
Well, he's going to be incredibly disappointed. I don't think that's Bigfoot's. He's not stupid. Like they know what these boars are. They live amongst the boar.
Sucks.
They live amongst other wildlife, so they know what they're getting when they rip one of these suckers open, and it's going to be just a horrific mess. And if you're finding two halves of it, then what was the purpose of ripping the thing in two? Not unless it was like in self-defense or out of boredom, because it's pretty boring in the woods. There's no TV.
Or spite.
There's no streaming services out there.
So you're saying if we got Yowie Netflix, he wouldn't be ripping boars in half.
He'd be less bored. It might be better ultimately for the wildlife. But you know, these Bigfoot, when they get bored, and they'll throw rocks at you. They'll pick up a tree trunk and throw it at your cabin just because they're goofing around. They got nothing better to do out there.
Rip your pigs in half.
Just for fun. They could just obviously they could just leave you alone if you're in their territory, and you would be none the wiser. But no, they want you to know they can hit you in the head with a rock because that's fun to them. It's like their version of pranking you by collapsing your skull in on itself and throwing tree trunks at your door.
Well, it's because he's being egged on by 3 other Bigfoot in the bushes.
Peer pressure.
Throw the rock at that guy.
Yeah, peer pressure.
$10 you can't hit that guy.
Very important. Ultimately, though, it's difficult to conclude that the boar was definitely killed by a large, undiscovered species of bipedal ape beast, especially when nobody actually caught the creature in the act.
You would have to assume it's a Bigfoot.
Yeah, you would have to.
Clearly a Bigfoot.
It had to be a man in a monkey suit.
That's what they said about that guy, the Colorado train. Did you see the follow-up on that?
Yeah, they fooled me on that one. They fooled me, Jerry, with that one. Yeah, the follow-up was an advertisement for a local camper company.
An advertisement in the colors.
Did anyone else did anyone on the show say anything about this?
What? Yeah, we covered. We did a follow-up on it.
Well, I'm just saying. Oh, okay. I don't remember us covering it.
Yeah, right. We did a follow up.
So Joe,
on
I think you were on both of those shows.
Yeah, right. I think you tuned.
Never mind.
When I say Bigfoot, you glaze over.
Yeah.
You glaze over, and
actually, I think Joe missed that because remember we looked at the adventure trailers that were like $50,000.
Oh yeah,
and thought that Joe would like these, but I don't think he was on that show.
Yeah, Joe was not on that show because the company that manufactures those trailers are like heavy duty, really high quality stuff, and it's like right up Joe's alley to have like some kind of camper in your truck or something like that. But yeah, it turns out that the camper company, they encourage their employees to walk around wearing Bigfoot costumes and big feet, like legitimately like big feet, oversized Bigfoot kind of shoes. And it's a whole goofy work environment. And they were just pulling a prank on some train riders.
Called it.
You did.
This is not a Bigfoot either.
The one who ripped the boar in half, it has to be, Joe.
No. Nobody saw it. I just found some mutilated bullshit in the woods. It's got to be Bigfoot.
Well, what if it was one of the RV salesmen on vacation in Australia just ripping boars in half?
That takes an incredible amount of strength.
Good night.
Was he walking through the Queensland territory with like a katana sword or some sort of like double-handled like claymore chopping these things in half? I don't think so. It's impractical.